Welcome to this week's Maryland's Missing and the Murdered. Maryland's Missing and the Murdered is a weekly YouTube channel that covers the topic of missing and murdered individuals from the state of Maryland. Can you believe that this channel has been going on for a year now? I anticipate doing an episode of updates based on the cases that I've covered previously. This week, I'm covering the murders of Sheila Rascoe and Donna M. Brown. I could not find any pictures of the victims, so there will be no pictures this week. Sheila Rascoe was a native of North Carolina who moved to Essex, Maryland after her marriage to Elton Rascoe ended. In 1979, Sheila was 28 years old and was a seamstress for London Fog. Sheila was a very neat and stylish person. She would take the bus to and from work so she could save up for a car. That is where she met her boyfriend, Albert Bell. Albert Bell was the bus driver of the bus she rode to go to and from work. They were dating for 4 to 6 months, and on September 25th, 1979, Sheila was preparing for a weekend trip to Richmond, Virginia with Albert. When Albert showed up to Sheila's apartment in Essex to pick her up for the weekend getaway, he found Sheila deceased, with a vacuum cord wrapped around her neck. She was partially naked, and the medical examiner concluded she was raped in addition to being strangled. The crime scene suggested that the perpetrator must have pushed his way into the apartment because the deadbolt key was still in the door. Also found was a knife on the table, and her shoes and pillows were thrown about the room. Police questioned Albert Bell. During questioning, it came out that Albert Bell was married, and he was with his wife at the time of the murder. Elton Rascoe was also questioned. He admitted that he had abused Sheila in the past, but he was in New Jersey with his new girlfriend at the time of Sheila's murder. Sheila's murder went cold until 2004, when a new detective started to re-examine photos of the crime scene. One picture was Sheila's nightshirt that was under her body. The detective pointed out a stain on the nightshirt, so they went to the evidence room to retrieve the nightshirt and send it for DNA analysis. On June 6, 2005, DNA from semen left on Sheila's nightshirt was matched to Thomas Grant. Thomas Grant was a neighbor of Sheila's. His DNA was in the system from his conviction of raping a woman before Sheila was murdered. When police brought Grant in, he first denied knowing Sheila. When pushed, he admitted that he had had sex with her the night before she died. On September 20th, 2007, Thomas Grant was convicted of murder and rape. On February 11th, 2008, Grant was sentenced to 2 life terms. He is currently incarcerated in Cumberland while his murder conviction is in appeal. Donna M. Brown was a 39-year-old living in Pikesville, Maryland. She had a 45-year-old boyfriend named Joseph Coleman who lived in Forestville, Maryland. They supposedly met at a racetrack, and he would give her money for sex. On October 5th, 2008, at 7:30 a.m., Joseph Coleman called 911 to report his girlfriend, Donna M. Brown, unresponsive on the floor of his condo. When police responded, Donna Brown was deceased with trauma to her face and neck. Police immediately took Joseph Coleman in for questioning. They had ended up speaking for over 10 hours. Coleman told police that the night before, he and Donna were arguing over money. It was then he claimed she hit him in the face with an ashtray. He, in return, hit her back at least twice, and when she fell to the floor, he hit her again. Joseph Coleman told police that he had left his condo and did not return until morning, where he saw her still lying on the floor and then called police. He admitted to police that he knew she was dead when he left the previous night, but chose to leave anyway and wait to call police in the morning. The medical examiner ruled that Donna M. Brown died from blunt force trauma and strangulation. In December 2009, Joseph Coleman was convicted of second-degree murder. On February 5th, 2010, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Thank you for joining me this week. If there is a Maryland missing or murdered case that you would like to see on this channel, please email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com. Music is by Silent Vengeance. Sources will be listed in the outro. Please like and subscribe. Click the bell so you will be notified when the next cases are released. I will see you again next week. Be kind to one another. You never know what will happen tomorrow. And I also want to wish my son Henry a very happy 8th birthday.